from the WKBN First News Network, home of the high school basketball starting five, celebrating over 20 years of live television sports in the Valley. This is the WKBN High School Basketball Game of the Week, sponsored by Stadium GM and Sheely's.
Coming to you live from Cortland, Ohio, Lakeview High School. It is the Division III District Championship game. Tonight it's a battle of unbeaten teams as 25-0 Crestview faces off with 25-0 Keystone in the WKBN High School Basketball Game of the Week. Hi again, everybody. Chad Krispinski alongside Todd McElroy. It doesn't get any better than this. It's a battle of unbeaten. Somebody's O must go.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think when you see two teams like this, one we're very familiar with in Crestview, but another one in Keystone, kind of like the new team on the block. It's going to be an exciting game for both teams tonight.
Our keys to the game are brought to you by Avalon Pizza downtown. Todd, take it away.
Well, I think the first thing that Keystone's going to have to do is they're going to have to defend the paint. You'll see Crestview's interior players. They're strong. Next, I think that Crestview, they're going to have to take away Keystone's ability to shoot the ball from the outside. You're going to see some long-distance shooting tonight. And in any big game, you got to take care of the basketball, and you can't turn it over.
And we are all set for the opening. Tip, sit back, relax, and enjoy this one as some late-arriving fans are trying to take their seat, and we'll be underway here in just a moment. Glad you're with us here on our high school basketball game of the week, set to jump it up. Jessica Forthover for Keystone. It's controlled, however, by Crestview, and we are underway here on this Saturday night. Ball is in the hands of Addison Rhodes, one of those young phenoms for Crestview. Rhodes, just a sophomore. Rhodes slices into the paint. Rhodes is cut off. Entry pass knocked away. Keystone will control. Taken away by Vivian Castle. Ball in the hands of Helayna Houston onto the wing. Jed Rezick. Up top, Forthover. And into the hands of Vivian Castle. Slicing across the way, it's Barber. Here's Jed Rezick. To the top of the key, they now lob it across. Onto the wing on the far side. It's Castle. Into the hands of Forthover. Penetrating is Jed Rezick. And the ball is loose. It is tracked down by Keystone. Good defense by Crestview. Keystone stepping on the near sideline. Castle turns it over, and it goes right back to the Rebels with 6:54 left to play here in the opening quarter.
Both teams have had an early turnover here, maybe some early jitters, and maybe they'll just have to take time to settle in.
Ball in the hands of Emily Downey. Floater up, it is short. Downey fighting for the rebound. Up to the top of the key, it's Rhodes. Rhodes trying to draw contact. It's stripped away. Helayna Houston pushing it up the floor to the line, to the lane. Puts it up over everything. Offensive rebound. Back out front. Barber for three. Up a little bit too strong. But the rebound is taken down by Addison Rhodes of Crestview. Still no score here in this one. Crestview averaging 62.6 points a game. Keystone 51.5. Emily Downey is cut off right near the elbow. To the top of the key, it's Miller. Into the hands of Brianna DeCross. And now here's Gaskins. Here's Rhodes firing. Three ball. Back edge no good. Rebound Gaskins. Gaskins whips it into the front row, and it's a Crestview turnover. And Keystone will get it back. Popping off the Lady Wildcats bench is Madison Sokolowski.
Coach Houston's really excited about Sokolowski, who comes in the game and really gives them a different dynamic when she subs in. So we'll have to see if that is going to happen with that sub.
Here is Barber. Across the time stripe. Ball in the hands of Sokolowski. Taken away by Crestview, and the Rebels will control. This is Brianna DeCross slicing to the left side. Entry pass is taken away. Another Crestview turnover taken away by Castle. Up the floor come the Wildcats. Three ball in the air. Barber knocked it down.
Barber, she had an opportunity at the top of the key to shoot, missed. That's her spot over in that corner, either on the right or the left-hand side.
3-0 in favor of Keystone. Traveling called on Addison Rhodes. And the ball will go back to Keystone. Off the Crestview bench will be Kerrigan Miller along with Lexi Blower. We'll probably see about 7 players for Crestview and head coach Aaron Blatch. So it's still a 3-0 ball game.
Crestview extending their pressure a little bit into a 1-2-2 3/4 court token press.
They swing it around to the left side. Houston. They feed it middle of the paint to Castle. Barber, another 3. It's an air ball. It's out of bounds. And it goes back to Crestview with 4:55 to play here in the opening quarter.
And sometimes with that press, sometimes it kind of disables the team to kind of get into any kind of a flow offensively. So far, Crestview doing a nice job of staying and kind of disrupting Keystone's offense.
Brianna DeCross, entry pass. Gaskins puts it up and in.
That's what they talked about, certainly with the keys right there, that Keystone's going to have to do a good job of not just containing the paint, but containing Gaskins.
Ahead of the pack to Barber, into the hands of Forthover. Trapped by Crestview. There's a whistle. And it is a Crestview foul. And it'll be a foul on Kerrigan Miller. Our first foul of the night on either side. So Brooklyn Barber will inbound. And it's a good crowd, but a little bit quiet here at the moment in this gym as both fan bases very pensive. Sokolowski into the ball game, bouncing it to the left side. It's Castle. Castle goes off the dribble, lobs it underneath. It's short, good defense. Forthover cleans it up and is able to draw the contact and the foul, and she will go to the free throw line and shoot 2.
You can see right there that, Gaskins, she's such a force inside. I know that Coach Blatch had talked about how many blocks she's had this year. Does a real nice job protecting the rim.
Crestview foul on Kerrigan Miller as the free throw is up, and it is no good. Jessica Forthover, a senior, trying to increase what is currently a 1-point lead. 4:10 left to play in the opening quarter. Free throw up, no good. Couple of misses for Keystone, and Blower comes down with a rebound. Here's Addison Rhodes. Rhodes bounces it to the right side. It's an errant pass out of bounds. DeCross couldn't handle it. Back to Keystone.
Crestview's offense, obviously has some turnovers here, but their defense has really done a nice job, and it's certainly a credit to their defense, or really any lesson in basketball, that if you can play good defense, you can keep the game close.
Up the floor comes Houston to the near side corner. Off the dribble, it's Barber. Outside Houston, firing 3-ball, got it!
Yeah, Crestview's going to have to do a little bit better of a job of closing out on shooters there. They can't settle. If they're allowed to settle their feet, boy, it's going to be almost like a layup for these Keystone players.
Brianna DeCross whips it near side left wing. This is Emily Downey. Off the dribble comes DeCross. Ball is loose. Another takeaway by Keystone. Houston pushing it up the floor once again. Houston takes it over, and it hits off the official. It's out of bounds. By the way, our officials are Jacob Sell, Tom Conrad, and Adam Loudon. 6-2, 4-point lead for Keystone with 3:17 to play. Here still in quarter number 1. Crestview up the floor, now onto the wing to Emily Downey. Downey outside the 3-point line, Blower. Downey, one dribble. Onto the right side, into the hands of Lavraine Gaskins. Outside right wing, 3-ball up. It hits the bracing up above the basket, out of bounds. And with 2:57 left, Keystone will have it.
Crestview staying in that pressure, maybe extending it just a little bit in the backcourt. Keystone doing a nice job of breaking it so far. Got to reverse it a couple times, get it to the middle.
Traveling call to Sokolowski. Was looking for a little bit of help, and none was available. So Crestview will get the ball back. It's Emily Downey triggering this one in. Brianna DeCross across the time stripe. Onto the right wing, it is Downey. Downey up to Blower. Lob it underneath. Entry pass is intercepted. Picked off by Forthover. Houston left wing to the top of the key. 3 ball in the air. Sokolowski knocked it down. Timeout called. We're back after this. 7-point lead for Keystone on the WKBN High School Basketball Game of the Week. 2:27 left to play in the opening quarter. Keystone off and running with a 9-2 lead in a battle of two 25-0 teams. Up the floor comes Addison Rhodes. Rhodes crosses over. Rhodes into the paint. Rhodes stripped. And it's going to stay right here as she's a little bit slow to get up.
A little bit frustrated there. I think she felt maybe she was fouled. I'd like to see her come to a 2-foot jump stop, maybe be a little bit stronger on that take, maybe would get a foul.
Out front to Downey, now onto the wing, it's Addison Rhodes penetrating, putting it up, and it's an offensive foul called, and Rhodes is hurt.
Again, you could see how much attention is being paid to Rhodes. They were all white jerseys right in the paint there when she drove it to the hoop.
That is foul number 1 on Rhodes, and now 3 team fouls on Crestview. Keystone will bring it up the floor. There's Brooklyn Barber outside the 3-point line into the hands of Sokolowski. Houston on the right wing. Top side it is Castle. 1 dribble. Over to Sokolowski who triggers. It's an air ball. Offensive board torn down. Another offensive board for Keystone. Houston and company will set things up again. Entry pass knocked away. Another turnover. Crestview will push it up the floor. This is DeCross, too strong, and off that miss. Rebound, Jessica Forthover. It's a 7-point Keystone lead. Helayna Houston. Over to Barber. This is Sokolowski. Sokolowski can hit from a country mile away. Sokolowski feeds it to the near side. Houston eyeing up a triple try. Won't take it. Castle out front as we hit the final minute of this opening quarter. Helayna Houston looking, penetrating. Houston rejected! And she hit the deck hard! Crestview will push it up the floor. This is Rhodes into the corner. Miller for 3, up no good. Rebound tapped around, controlled by Downey, who puts it up, it won't go. Keystone with another chance. Ahead of the pack, Barber tracks it down, feeding it to Forthover, taken away. That's Gaskins with a good defensive play for Crestview. 25 seconds left. They feed it to the right side, Downey for 3, can't get it to go. And we're inside of 20 seconds left, and let's see if Keystone will hold for the final shot. It certainly looks like it. Madison Sokolowski inside 10 seconds to play in the quarter. Sokolowski scoops it up and in. Final seconds ticking on down. Here's Rhodes firing, no good. We go to the second. 11-2 Keystone on the WKBN High School Basketball Game of the Week. All set for the second quarter. Keystone with a 9-point lead as we embark on quarter number 2. 11-2 is our score. Keystone will open up the second quarter with possession of the basketball. Sokolowski has been tremendous since coming in off the bench. Riley Jedrezic. (11-2) is our score. And here we go. Sokolowski whips it into the corner. Barber now goes off the dribble. Top side, Jedrezic. There's Sokolowski. They feed it to Barber. Outside Sokolowski. Off the dribble comes Jedrezic, who takes it along the baseline. There's another errant pass and a Keystone turnover. Here comes Crestview down 11-2. This is Miller. She lost it along the baseline, but it was stripped free from her grasp and off Keystone.
I feel like Crestview's had some opportunities. They just have to make some shots. They're not turning it over. They're just missing shots at this point in time.
Uncharacteristic low number of points. As that one will rattle up and in for Gaskins, and it's 11-4.
When all else fails, if you can't shoot from the perimeter, getting it into the paint is a really good alternative because it can possibly draw a foul. It's a high percentage shot.
Out front, Jedrzejczyk. They have it to Sokolowski. Sokolowski bounces it up to the top of the key. It's Castle. Castle works it over to Jedrzejczyk. Jedrzejczyk picks up her dribble. We're inside 7 minutes left to play until halftime. Jedrzejczyk looks things over. Up front to Castle. Barber in the corner for three. That's an air ball, offensive board. Forthover back out front. Onto the wing, Sokolowski. Keystone will set things up once again. The Lady Wildcats ahead by 7, 11-4, with 6:24 remaining in this second quarter. There's Sokolowski. Sokolowski penetrates. She's cut off. Right low block out to Barber. Barber, jump stop, feeding Forthover. The ball is loose, but it's tracked down, and the ball is out of bounds, and it's going to stay right here with 6:09 left in the second quarter. The officials are going to talk it over. They may change this call. And they will.
There's a lot of bodies in that paint underneath the rim right there. I don't know if that was another block by Gaskins. It's kind of difficult to see, but boy, she does a great job just altering shots.
So Crestview with possession of the ball. Across the time stripe into the forecourt. Outside it's Addison Rhodes. Long three. Got it!
Hopefully that'll kind of get her going right there. And nice little design look off a flare screen and can get her going from the field offensively.
11-7 is our score. 5:45 left in the second quarter. We have it onto the wing. This is Houston. Now to Barber. Barber dribbles over to the left side, and the handoff goes to Vivian Castle. Bounce pass underneath Forthover. Forthover feeds to the corner, Houston. Back outside, Sokolowski. There is Barber, one dribble to Houston. Houston can hit from deep. Houston feeds it right side, Sokolowski. Top of the key, Castle. Now Barber. Keystone very patient to Sokolowski. Thought about the three, now penetrates. This is off, intercepted. Picked up, and here comes Crestview, Lorraine Gaskins. Gaskins nearly walked. Rhodes for three, got it! Big shot for Rhodes!
Crestview's transition offense is really going, and certainly that's set up by missed shots and opportunities right there where the Lorraine Gaskins can just take the rebound and just push the action without getting the outlet pass to a point guard.
Sokolowski around a screen. Sokolowski pulls it back outside, hands it off to Barber. Barber gives way to Castle. Castle penetrates. There's Sokolowski. Sweet left-handed stroke, and she drilled it. And it's 13-10 with 4:26 remaining in this second quarter.
In mind, number 23, just a freshman. Very, very, very tough shot off the ball screen right there. Looked very smooth.
Rhodes eyes up another three. That one was offline. And the rebound comes down to Jessica Forthover of Keystone. And the freshman back to work. Madison Sokolowski picks up her dribble. Barber firing. Three ball off the back edge. No good. And the rebound comes down to Crestview over the time stripe. Into the forecourt. Off the dribble comes DeCross. The cross outside. They lob it underneath for Gaskins in traffic. It's stripped free from her grasp. And Forthover will bring it up the floor. Forthover gives to Barber. Barber faked the three. Walk with the ball. And it goes right back to Crestview. Into the ball game is Riley Jedrzejczyk. Sitting down is Sokolowski. Across the time stripe into the forecourt. And we have an offensive foul called on Crestview. And it'll go right back in the opposite direction. First foul on Crestview's Meyer Miller. And the first foul in this second quarter. It's 13-10. Brooklyn Barber works it over to Houston. Back to Barber. Into the hands of Jed Rezick. Ball is loose. Pitch to Houston. Long range three. Up, no good, too strong. And the rebound down to LaVrain Gaskins. And here is Rhodes. Over the time stripe into the forecourt. Here is Downey. Lost the ball. We're back after this. 2:52 left to play as we rejoin action. It's a jump ball. And the possession arrow will give it to Crestview. Lady Rebels down by 3 at 13-10. And here comes Crestview. This is Brianna DeCross. Giving way to Rhodes. Rhodes to the baseline. Takes the ball back on the wing. Off the dribble comes Rhodes. Three ball from the right side. Up no good. Offensive rebound fought for, but it's taken away. Lexi Blower couldn't quite grab it. And here is Brooklyn Barber. Behind the back comes Sokolowski. Here's Jed Rezick. Jed Rezick slices across the paint. Bounces it outside the three-point line. There's Vivian Castle, Sokolowski, and now Barber. Onto the left wing, it's Castle. Out of the corner. Sokolowski thought about a three, then thought better of it. They whip it back up to the top of the key. Jed Rezick scoops it up and it won't go. Tried to draw some contact to no avail. Here comes Addison Rhodes. Rhodes slices across the paint. Scoops it up. It will not go, and the ball is out of bounds. It'll stay here with 1:41 left to play until halftime.
I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with Keystone and the way they kind of move the basketball around, but I think, Crestvew's doing a great job of getting those rebounds and really starting to push the basketball in transition.
13-10 in favor of Keystone. 1:38 on a rolling second quarter clock. Underneath. Ball is knocked away. It ricochets out to the left wing. The three ball is up. It's no good. Keystone to the board. That's Barber. And now the Lady Wildcats will slowly bring it across. The freshman Madison Sokolowski has it at the top of the key. Sokolowski over to the left side. Looking down low. In the low post. It's fed underneath to Castle. Castle picks up her dribble. And now takes it onto the left wing. Castle off the dribble, spins, and then feeds it to Forthover, who triggers and misses. Another offensive board taken down, and it is a jump ball called, and the possession arrow keeps it here. We're back after this. And welcome back. 13-10 is our score. Crestview with the ball, pushing it up the floor to the top of the key. Rhodes for three in the tie. She knocked it down. 13-13 is our score. Keystone now with the ball as the Wildcats will, in all likelihood, hold for the final shot. Here's Madison Sokolowski. We're down to 11 seconds and now 10. Sokolowski around to the left side. 5 seconds, now 4. Sokolowski whips it onto the wing. There is Barber firing off the mark. And we have played one half of basketball here in Cortland in the Division III District Championship. We are tied at 13 on the WKBN High School Basketball Game of the Week. It is a great crowd here in Cortland for the Division III District Championship game. Keystone and Crestview in a battle of two 25-0 teams. Hooked up in a good one. We are tied at 13 here at halftime. We will break down the first half when we come back on the WKBN High School Basketball Game of the Week. Crestview Rebel fans have come out in full force here on this Saturday night. They're hoping to punch a ticket to regionals here with a win in the Division III District Final against Keystone. Hi again, everybody. Chad Krispinski, Todd McElroy with you. Our keys to the game are brought to you by Avalon Pizza downtown. Todd?
Well, I think from one side, you talk about defending the paint. I think that Keystone's done a pretty nice job of that, but Crestview's kind of adjusted a little bit by shooting the ball effectively from the outside. On the other side, I think that, once Crestview kind of settled down a little bit, they were able to kind of step out and kind of contest shooters and really kind of contain them. So, both are doing a real nice job of kind of adapting from there. And then lastly, there have been some turnovers, I think, probably ill-advised from Crestview, but yet they've been really fortunate to kind of get back in this game to knot it up at 13.
13-13 is our score. We're back after this on the WKBN High School Basketball Game of the Week. And welcome back to Cortland Lakeview High School. Well, we've reached halftime, and we're all tied up at 13. Hi again, everybody. Chad Krispinski, Todd McElroy with you. Our halftime report is brought to you by Valley STEM and by Loudon Ford. Let's check out some numbers from the first half of play. It's Keystone getting the better end in the rebounding department. 12-10 in the first half of play. Crestview doing a good job of spreading the ball around with 5 assists. Shooting numbers look this way from the first half. Both teams struggling to put the ball in the basket for the most part. Keystone under 27% from the field. Crestview under 30%. Leading scorers look this way from the first half. Madison Sokolowski, the freshman, with 7, and Addison Rhodes with 9 points for Crestview. It all adds up to a 13-13 ball game here. We'll get you set for the third quarter when we come back on the WKBN High School Basketball Game of the Week. And welcome back to Lakeview High School in Cortland, Ohio. A good one in the Division III District Championship game. Keystone and Crestview deadlocked at 13 in a defensive battle from both sides. Chad Krispinski, Todd McElroy with you. Following tonight's game, we'll select a player of the game. It's one player that has made the greatest impact. Our Player of the Game award is sponsored by Tavern 26 and Nightline Embroidery and Screen Printing. So here we go. Crestview will open up this third quarter with possession of the basketball. It is Addison Rhodes with 9 points. There's DeCross at the top of the key. They feed it to Rhodes outside the three-point line. Rhodes feeds it onto the left wing. Cross-court toss. Here's DeCross for 3. That's an air ball, and it is saved in, but it's out of bounds, and it's off Crestview, will belong to Keystone.
Keystone came out in a little bit different of a defense right there. You're really kind of sticking to the arc a little bit and leaving Fortover, number 21, to kind of handle Gaskins in the middle. So look to see if Keystone can kind of change up their looks here defensively in the second half.
Houston has it to Barber onto the right wing. It's Castle. There's Jed Rezick. Jed Rezick takes it left of the lane. Just underway in the third quarter in a 13-13 game. Here is Castle. Castle crosses over to the top of the key. Into the hands of Houston. Houston knifes her way into the paint. Jed Rezick for 3. That's an air ball. Nearly the same situation as we saw at the other end for Crestview. So a couple of air balls to open up the third quarter. And with 7:02 remaining in the third, we're still tied 13-13. Crestview with the ball. Here is DeCross across the time stripe. Left wing, Addison Rhodes. Rhodes feeds it to the corner. It's Downey lobbing. Gaskins firing, missing. Good defense on the interior by Keystone. Here come the Lady Wildcats up the floor. Helayna Houston gives way to Fort Hover. Here is Castle. Into the corner, Barber. And now Jed Rezick spinning her way to the elbow. They feed it to Castle. Castle fires and hits.
Certainly Castle was able to hit that shot because, Rhodes kind of helped out on the ball a little bit too much and was able to kind of get Castle kind of a free line. Tough shot, though. I mean, it's not an easy shot to shoot from the short corner there while you're dribbling into the basket.
15-13 is our score. Now 15-15 as Gaskins was able to stick it in. 6 minutes to play in the third. Here comes Keystone. This is Houston. Over onto the left side to Jed Rezick. Jed Rezick picks up her dribble. Over to Houston. Looking low post. Houston picks up her dribble now. Feeds it into the paint. Off the glass and in. Vivian Castle gives Keystone a 2-point lead at 17-15. Crestview will now go on the offensive attack again. DeCross into the paint. Ball is knocked free. Downey controls for the Rebels. Over to Miller. Now into the corner. DeCross for 3. Her shot is a little bit long, and Keystone with the board.
You can see, again, both teams having a little bit of a struggle here from the arc, but I think the recipe has to be getting interior shots.
Crestview with the steal, and there's a jump ball called, and the possession arrow is going to keep it right here. 5:06 left to play. Keystone 17, Crestview 15.
Coach Blatch wasn't real happy about that. Felt that it probably wasn't a jump ball more so than it was a piece of arm gathered there, and probably should have been a foul called according to what Coach Blatch thinks.
Houston with the ball on the right wing. Bouncing it underneath. Backing in is Forthover. Forthover back outside to Houston. They feed it to the near side corner. Here's Castle. Sokolowski slices right of the lane. Houston for three. Way off the mark, but what a rebound by Forthover on the offensive glass. Trying to thread the needle to a slicing teammate in the paint, but it's taken away by Crestview. Here is DeCross pulling it back outside. Lobbing for Gaskins, and it's knocked away by Forthover. Good help side defense by Forthover.
Yeah, there's a young lady who needs to have a special mention here tonight. She's really doing a nice job in the paint, really containing Gaskins, getting rebounds, getting block shots, deflections. Really does a nice job to kind of anchor that Keystone defense.
Ball is into Rhodes. Rhodes able to draw the contact and the foul. She's going to go to the free throw line. Addison Rhodes, a sophomore for the Rebels, just a really talented playmaker. Foul is called on Brooklyn Barber. Of course, Rhodes scored her 1,000th point last weekend in a huge victory that saw the Rebels put up more than 100 points. 107-6 victory over Lake Ridge Academy. Rhodes trying to tie the ball game up at 17 in the third, and she does. 4:24 remaining third quarter.
She scored 1,000 points. Keep in mind, everyone, she is a sophomore,
Yep.
so do that math very quickly in your head.
That's happened in a hurry, that's for sure. Sokolowski has it over onto the left side, reverses her tracks. Sokolowski, just a freshman, has been really good. She has 7 points off the bench for Keystone. Sokolowski feeds it to Barber to the top of the key. Forthover over to Castle. Now the corner. It's Helayna Houston. Barber dribbling across the way. Back to Houston. Bounce pass underneath. Forthover takes it baseline. It was blocked, but it's cleaned up and stuck back in by Vivian Castle. And Keystone takes a 19-17 lead. At the other end, Crestview looking to answer back. Out front, it is Brianna DeCross. Lobbing into the interior. Ball is knocked away. It's controlled by Rhodes. Rhodes to the line, to the lane. Scoops it up. It will not go in traffic. And Forthover comes up with another important board for Keystone. Here's Sokolowski to Barber, firing. Three ball around, and it rattles in. And that increases the lead. Timeout called. We'll take it as well. It's 22-17 Keystone on the WKBN High School Basketball Game of the Week. What a flurry for Keystone as we welcome you back. 3 minutes, 8 seconds left to play in this third quarter. It is Keystone 22 and Crestview 17. Take a look at that one. The English on that one, and it falls through. 5-point lead for Keystone in a fast-moving basketball game with 3:08 to play in the third quarter.
Keystone for scoring, it's been the Castle and Barber show, the three-pointer, and then 6 points by Castle in this quarter to give them the lead here.
DeCross has it onto the wing. Here's Addison Rhodes. Rhodes heads around a screen. She stops and pops and hits.
Again, Coach Blatch calls that timeout just to settle down his players. We know that Crestview is able to go on little mini runs to get back in this basketball game. So Coach Blatch, great timeout there.
Castle has the ball outside the three-point line, brings it back to the near side, into the hands of Sokolowski. Sokolowski gives away to Houston. Houston bounces it underneath. Forthover whips it back up to the top of the key. This is Barber onto the right wing. Castle firing, three ball, got it! Big shot for Castle! That's a 6-point lead for Keystone at 25-19.
And makes it 9 points in this quarter for Castle alone.
Rhodes takes the feet on the baseline, working hard on the offensive glass. It's a foul called against the Lady Wildcats. There were 2 Lady Wildcats in the vicinity, and it's going to be tagged to Jessica Forthofer, her first, and the second on Keystone as a team in this third quarter. Inside Gaskins. Gaskins fights it up and in. And it's 25-21 in favor of Keystone. Inside 2 minutes left to play in this third quarter.
I'd like to see Gaskins certainly get more touches and draw that defense in. Would give extra opportunities for the shooters for the Rebels, especially Rhodes.
Sokolowski for three. Up, no good. Rebound ripped down by Blower. Up Crestview. Here comes Downey. On the right wing, Downey outside to Cross, feeding it. Blower puts it up and in! 25-23 is our score. We're inside 90 seconds left, third quarter. Here's Sokolowski, bouncing it to Castle on the near side. Forthofer backing in, puts it up, trying to draw some contact. Unable to do so, but there's a whistle and a foul as Castle hit the deck. She was tripped. Blower picks up the personal. That's the first on Crestview as a team.
Boy, Castle continues to do different things for her team. Scoring, certainly on that, gathering a loose ball or an offensive rebound and getting the opportunity to shoot 2 free throws.
Castle puts that one up and in. Vivian Castle, 4-year varsity letter winner, averaging 9.5 points. And she puts that one in. It's 27-23, now 11 points for Vivian Castle. 65 seconds remaining. It's 27-23 in favor of Keystone. Here's Addison Rhodes. She draws contact and the foul. And now Rhodes will head to the free throw line and shoot 2.
Yeah, she drives to the hoop right there. And once again, you see a lot of Keystone players, really collapse on her. And she's such a good player that she can kind of figure out how to really create, contact. And good scorers figure out how to get to the free throw line.
So that foul, by the way, was tagged to Vivian Castle of Keystone. And now some moisture is on the free throw line. When we're done here tonight, we'll pick a player of the game. It's one player that has made the greatest impact. Our Player of the Game award is sponsored by Tavern 26 and Nightline Embroidery and Screen Print. So the sweat has been wiped up off the floor, and Rhodes will try to cut this to a 2-point ball game, and the free throws around and out. Blower working hard. Can't corral it, though, and it's out of bounds. Back to Keystone with 53.5 seconds remaining.
I'll tell you what, Crestview, they brought in Blower in the game, number 15, and she can really help out Gaskins quite a bit to anchor down that interior defense. But, just doing a great job on both ends of the floor, number 15, Blower.
Helayna Houston hands it off to Sokolowski. Sokolowski on the right side, Forthofer. Lady Wildcats now running this clock down. We're inside 30 seconds to play. In the third quarter, it's Keystone 27, Crestview 24. Baseline take by Houston. And Houston dribbled it off the sideline, the baseline, I should say. And it'll go back to Crestview with a chance to tie with a 3-point field goal. We're down to 17 seconds on a rolling third quarter clock. Brianna DeCross has it at the top of the key, bouncing it to Rhodes. Rhodes faces up, lobs for Gaskins. Gaskins gathers. It's out front to Rhodes. Rhodes firing up, and it's off the rim. No good. We go to the fourth. 27-24. Keystone leading Crestview on the WKBN High School Basketball Game of the Week. Keystone enters the fourth quarter with the 3-point lead, 27-24. Crestview looking to rally. The last time the Rebels won the district title back in 2007. It will not be an easy feat in this final 8 minutes, but the Lady Rebels at 25-0, the Lady Wildcats at 25-0. Crestview opens up the fourth quarter with possession of the basketball. Down by 3, 27-24. They'll feed it underneath, and there's a block called on Houston. She hit the deck, and she can't believe it.
You know what one of those calls like that. And again, the Keystone faithful over here on the other side, they weren't real happy about that call, but you have to give the offensive player, in this particular case Gaskins, time to land before it can be even considered a charge.
Foul is on Houston, her first, and the ball is knocked out of bounds. And the Keystone folks thought that one should belong to Keystone as well, but it belongs to Crestview. And it is Downey to trigger it in from the near side.
It's one of those possessions that's really important right now because, it sets the tone and see if we can score and get closer.
Blower put that one up over everything. Rhodes cleans it up. She can't get it to go, but here's Gaskins. It's a jump ball, and the possession arrow is going to give it to Keystone. Keystone still up by 3, 27-24, 7:36 left in this fourth quarter. Sokolowski whips it over on the right side to Helayna Houston. Houston gives way to Barber. Barber bouncing it underneath. Backing in is Forthofer. And now here is Sokolowski. She's defended there by Emily Downey. Sokolowski heads around a screen, feeds it to Houston in the corner. Here is Barber. Loose ball is picked up by Castle. Castle picks up her dribble. Sokolowski looking for Forthofer. Sokolowski slices into the paint, feeding Forthofer. Backing in, spinning shot, up, no good. Rebound Gaskins and a foul on Forthofer. So that will be number 2 in terms of team fouls on Keystone.
Again, from a post player's point of view, that's kind of a little bit of a frustration foul right there. You just missed probably an easy shot. A little bit tougher from right here, but you kind of go in there to try to get the basketball and get that foul. You see that a lot of times from post players, just expending so much energy and just a little bit frustrated on Fortover's part.
Fortover picks up her second. Ball in the hands of Rhodes. Rhodes taps it to her teammate. They feed it to Gaskins. Outside Rhodes. Rhodes into the paint. Feeding Miller for 3. That one's off the back edge, no good. Gaskins with the offensive board. Top of the key, Downey for 3. That's no good. Rebound Sokolowski of Keystone. 6:17 remaining in this fourth quarter. The score remains 27-24 in favor of Keystone in a low-scoring affair. Helayna Houston picks up her dribble. Pitches it back to Barber. Barber pitches to Sokolowski, and now Houston. Back to Barber at the top of the key. She faked the 3 and gives way to Castle. Castle lobs. Forthofer rejected. A lot of contact there, and no whistle that time either.
You can see Fortover, she was trying to plead her case there, but boy, I'll tell you what, Castle's doing a great job of drawing the defense and delivering a really on-point pass there to Fortover, where she wished she could have that back. Was hoping for a foul.
Forthofer picks up the ball, backs her way in. Forthofer is fouled that time, and the whistle comes. That'll be the first on Crestview. And it looks like that will be Meyer Miller picking up her second. And so Keystone with the ball. It's Helayna Houston. Giving way, turnover. Forthofer couldn't handle it. And it goes back to Crestview.
Boy, both defenses really, just gotten a lot of deflections. I was looking over Keystone's stat sheet, and they get a lot of deflections as a team. Certainly Crestview did a nice job there of kind of disrupting that baseline out-of-bounds look.
Brianna DeCross heads around a screen. DeCross over to the left side. Miller for 3. That one too strong. Cleaned up by Downey. Downey fights it up and in! And it's 27-26. Keystone with a 1-point lead. 5:21 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Madison Sokolowski gives way to Houston. Back across the way. Here's Castle, who's been big in the second half. Sokolowski for 3. Back edge, no good. Crestview now with a chance to take the lead. Up the floor comes Brianna DeCross. DeCross penetrates right of the lane. On that three-point line, it's a turnover back to Keystone with 4:58 remaining. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it as well. It's a 1-point game, 27-26. Keystone on the WKBN High School Basketball Game of the Week. And the plot thickens here in Cortland in the Division III District Championship game. It is Keystone with a precarious 1-point lead, 27-26 over Crestview with 4 minutes, 58 seconds left to play. The winner in this battle of unbeaten teams, both 25-0, advances to regionals. The loser will have its season come to an abrupt end. Keystone with the ball. The freshman Madison Sokolowski takes it over to the right side and heads around a screen. Sokolowski slices down the left side. Errant pass out of bounds over the head of Fordhover.
One of the things, I'll tell you what, Crestview, again, it's just a bad pass, but you really have to consider the length that Crestview, with Gaskins and Rhodes, they've got some girls that have long arms and can really discourage a lot of passes from going to their right way.
Addison Rhodes backs her way in. Crestview down by 1. Rhodes gives it onto the wing. Now to the corner, it's Miller. Downey, they feed it for Gaskins, and it is out of bounds. And it's going to stay here with 4:18 remaining. On occasion, Crestview forcing it in to Gaskins when she is surrounded by at least 2 or 3 Keystone players, but Crestview again with a chance to take the lead. This is Miller for 3. Back edge, no good. Ball is loose. It is still loose, and Keystone will control. It's a jump ball, and the possession arrow gives it to Crestview with 4:11 left, 27-26 Keystone.
Crestview has to, they have to feed it into Gaskins. I think if they collapse, they're getting shots as a result of Gaskins seeing, Miller's on the perimeter, a lot of their guards on the perimeter. They got to catch and shoot it in.
Brianna DeCross looks things over, heads around a screen from Rhodes. Rhodes now with the ball in her hands. Rhodes firing, long 3, that's short. And the board tapped outside. DeCross scoops it up with the right hand, and she couldn't stick it in. And there is some gritty play there. It's a jump ball, and the possession arrow gives it to Keystone.
Wow, you look at this play right here. I'll tell you what, I know bodies are flying out on the baseline, and how those officials called a jump ball there, it's a tough call.
27-26 in favor of Keystone. 3:45 left in the fourth quarter. Helayna Houston dribbling with the right hand around to the right side. Fordhover picks up her dribble into the hands of Barber. Barber penetrates into the paint, raises up, it's no good, off the miss. Rhodes fought for it, and it's still loose, and a timeout has been called. That is an alert play by Crestview's Addison Rhodes. Just a sophomore, and boy, she plays a lot more mature than that. And we'll take a timeout and be back after this on the WKBN High School Basketball Game of the Week. 3 minutes, 25 seconds left to play. One of these two teams, Keystone or Crestview, will move on to regionals. A battle of undefeated teams. Keystone 27, Crestview 26 here at the moment. Ball is in the hands of Brianna DeCross into the paint. She feeds it to the corner. Downey for 3. She knocked it down! And Crestview takes a 2-point lead. It is 29-27 Rebels as we have now hit the 3-minute mark left in this fourth quarter. Helayna Houston takes it baseline. She lost the handle, and it's out of bounds, and it goes back to Crestview.
Crestview's defense really has done a nice job on Houston, number 3 for Keystone. She's a key player for them. They've really done a nice job of kind of taking her away.
Brianna DeCross gets it ahead to Miller. This is Downey. Over to DeCross. Heading around a screen. DeCross into the paint. Lost the handle. She was tripped. And a foul has been called. And it is tagged to Keystone's Jessica Fordhover. And so stepping to the free throw line for Crestview will be Brianna DeCross. Another young player, just a freshman. More of a pass-first point guard. But a very, very energetic defender. She's averaging 4 points, 5.5 assists, and 3.5 steals per game. And across puts the free throw up. It's a little bit short. And it stays 29-27. Crestview out in front.
Took a little bit of a hit there going to the hoop. I'm not so sure that maybe that didn't kind of affect her a little bit. That free throw was a tough miss, so she can gather herself.
Second free throw, no good as well. It stays 29-27 in favor of Crestview. 2:32 remaining in this fourth quarter. Forthofer eyes things up. Forthofer hands it off to Castle. Castle puts on a move into the paint, scoops it up and in, and we're tied at 29 with 2:15 left. Time out on the floor. We'll take it as well on the WKBN High School Basketball Game of the Week. Here we go as we welcome you back. 2 minutes, 14 seconds left to play in the Division III District Championship game. Keystone 29, Crestview 29. And it all comes down to the final 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Crestview seeking its first district championship since 2007. Rebels with the ball in a tie game, 29 apiece. They lob it into the paint for Gaskins. Ball is loose. It is out of bounds. It goes to Keystone.
You know, Keystone doing something a little bit different there that we haven't seen yet. Sokolowski, number 23 for Keystone, was flat out face guarding Rhodes for Crestview. So they're going to try to take her away late in the stands of this game.
Madison Sokolowski brings it across the time stripe into the forecourt. Here is Castle in the right wing. 1:49 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Helayna Houston. Out front to the freshman Sokolowski. Now onto the wing, Forthofer. Forthofer backs her way in. Forthofer now gives to Houston. Houston slices her way left of the lane. Houston to Sokolowski. Out of the corner, Forthofer into the paint. Forthofer fights it up too strong. Working hard for the offensive board. It is still loose. It's a jump ball, and the possession arrow gives it to Crestview.
You know, every possession certainly matters. You're going to probably see an abundance of jump balls here, and with 1:24 left to play. But just certainly a testament to both teams on how important each possession is.
1:22 remaining. 29-29 is our score. Crestview ball. It's in the hands of Addison Rhodes. Rhodes has it to the near side. The cross for three. It's up. It's no good. And Keystone now with the ball. Clock winding down. 1:04 remaining in the fourth quarter. It's Helayna Houston. Houston works it back to Sokolowski. Here is Forthofer inside the final minute of this fourth quarter. And now Keystone is winding this clock down. It is Forthofer picking up her dribble. And now into the hands of Castle. We're down to 40 seconds left. Castle into the paint. Feeds it to Forthofer. Forthofer back to Sokolowski. 31 seconds left. 29-29 Sokolowski, and a timeout has been called by Keystone head coach Rocky Houston. And we're down to 26.8 seconds left. All right, they ran a bunch of clock off this fourth quarter. What's the plan of attack if you're Coach Houston and the Lady Wildcats?
Well, you're obviously in a tie ball game here, so you want to try to score with very close to 0 seconds, on the clock, and try to finish this game out. You want to try to take it to the hoop, do the best you can to get the best shot that you can. Coach Houston probably called a timeout there. He probably saw Forthofer maybe kind of gathering the basketball a couple too many times. Didn't feel real comfortable with it, so he called a timeout just to get them set, to make them understand what they need to do. On the other side, I think Crestview, they might come out. Crestview's very good at this. They might come out in a different defense here just to show a different look. So, Coach Blatch likes to do that. So we'll see what they do out of this situation.
If you're just joining us, 26.8 seconds left. Crestview and Keystone tied at 29. The winner will advance to the Division III regional semifinals next week. Keystone built a 7-point lead early on in that first half, but Crestview scratched and clawed its way back in. Keystone basketball, it is Brooklyn Barber triggering it into Madison Sokolowski. We're down to 22 seconds left. Sokolowski looks at her head coach on the near sideline. Here's Forthofer. Forthofer hands it over to Castle. Castle pitches back to Sokolowski, feeding it. Forthofer puts it up and in! 6 seconds left! And Keystone has taken a 31-29 lead. And they're going to put a little extra time on. It's going to be 8.2 seconds remaining. It is a full timeout. So the clock currently reads 6.4, but they're going to make it 8.2, not 82 seconds. In any event, boy, that was a massive, massive bit of execution.
Yeah, what they did was they ran kind of like a little bit of a dribble weave there, tried to get one of their guards. In that particular case, number 23, Sokolowski, kind of made the turn, and, it made the interior defense of Crestview come out. I think it was Gaskins, and just threw a perfect pass there to Fortover for the layup on the right block.
31-29, Keystone leading Crestview in the Division III District Championship game. We shall see what the Rebels have in store. Both teams undefeated, coming in at 25-0. Timeout situation is the following. 2 left for Keystone, 1 remaining for Crestview. Crestview will have to travel the length of the floor. And let's see what the Rebels do. Here we go. 31-29, Crestview trailing by 2. Ball is into Addison Rhodes, and Rhodes is fouled. 2 seconds off the clock.
Wonder if they were going to do that just because they have 1 foul to give, but I'll tell you what, Keystone needs to be very careful about fouling and getting the ball going for the basketball.
It's another timeout taken by Crestview with 6.2 seconds left. It is a full timeout. And so, the plot thickens. It's sweaty palms time for everyone here in the gym. Here in Cortland at Lakeview High School. Glad you're with us here. That's how close it is. Keystone 31 and Crestview 29. We're down to 6.2 seconds left. Man, what do you do? Where do you go with it if you're the Rebels?
Well, I can kind of see Coach Blatch's a marker board down there. It looks like he's looking to maybe get something to Gaskins on the interior. You want to think attack here because, obviously they're going to probably give you a 3. That's a pretty low percentage shot for any team right now, but you want to try to play for the tie, play for overtime, get the ball going to the basket. If you don't hit the shot, maybe you can get 2 free throws.
6.2 seconds left. Keystone up 31-29 on Crestview, and the ball is into the hands of Rhodes. Addison Rhodes with 3 seconds, now 2. Rhodes trying to draw some contact. Offensive board! Cleaned up and stuck back in by Gaskins! And we go to overtime! Unbelievable! What a job by Gaskins in traffic! Somehow getting that one to go, and we'll play a little bit extra tonight. Here's another look at it.
Yeah, great job. Trying to get if you want to get a shot off early, which is obviously something that Rhodes wanted to do, and what Coach Blatch wanted to do, you give yourself an extra opportunity to get a rebound. I mean, you've got one of the best rebounders on the floor tonight in Lavraine Gaskins.
So 4 more minutes put on the clock. My, oh my. 31-31 is our score. And why not play a little extra? These two teams tied in terms of their record, 25-0. And it'll take a little bit extra to determine which of these teams is going to play at regionals.
With that right there, you look up. Are they going to erase the fouls? The fouls still stay, or are they?
So here we go. We'll jump it up again. For Crestview, it's Lavraine Gaskins. For Keystone, it's Jessica Fordhofer. And our overtime jump ball is controlled by Crestview. And we're underway here in OT. Underneath Gaskins. Ball is saved in, but it's ruled out of bounds off Keystone. So it'll stay right here. 3:53 remaining in overtime. 31-31 is our score. Lavraine Gaskins looking. Ball is into DeCross. And now out to Downey. Downey to the near side, Miller. And they work it to Gaskins. Gaskins back onto the wing. There's Addison Rhodes reversing her track, spinning free across the free throw line. Now DeCross. This is Downey for three. It's short. Fordhofer comes up with the rebound for Keystone. Just over 30 seconds into overtime, 3:25 left. Ball in the hands of Houston. And now here is Vivian Castle. Out front, they now swing it around to Sokolowski. Fordhofer. A few dribbles. Near side, Castle. Castle backs her way in. Castle puts it up and in. 33-31 in favor of Keystone with 3 minutes left to play in overtime.
Castle does such a nice job of just kind of deterring the defense, kind of going one way for that score.
Miller for three. It's an air ball. And the rebound comes down to Brooklyn Barber of Keystone. Sokolowski looks to the right side. It's Castle. 33-31. Keystone leading Crestview. And the ball is in the hands of Castle. And now Fordhofer. Fordhofer hands it off to Sokolowski. Bounce pass into the corner. Sokolowski takes it back up to the top of the key. Here's Fordhofer penetrating. Jump stop. Up and in! Plus the foul!
Boy, nice move there by Fordhofer to kind of get by Gaskins. It looks like Gaskins is in a little bit of pain right now. Maybe has a Charlie horse on her thigh.
Here's another look at it. Fordhofer muscling that one in. It's now 35-31 in favor of Keystone. 14 points for Keystone's Helayna Houston. Four big points for Fordhofer. Fordhofer trying to complete the and one. Free throw up, no good. Off that miss. Crestview with the rebound. 35-31 is our score. Into the corner, near side. Miller for three. It's no good. Fordhofer comes up with the board. As we approach now, 2 minutes left to play. 35-31 in favor of Keystone. Lady Wildcats trying to run some clock now. Sokolowski feeds it underneath. Barber puts it up and in! And it's 37-31. 6-point lead for Keystone. In the corner, they feed it underneath. Blower into the hands of DeCross, and DeCross is fouled with 1:35 left to play. Keystone 37, Crestview 31 in the Division III District Championship game. Keystone foul is called on Barber. That is her second, and now the fifth team foul.
That's an extension. Certainly the foul's extended into the overtime. So I was just going to say, that could benefit Crestview because now they can get to the free throw line, shoot 2 free throws like DeCross is right now, and try to get back in this basketball game.
Brianna DeCross, this is the first free throw, and the freshman will try to split the pair and cut this to a 5-point Crestview deficit. 37-31. It'll stay that way, and off the miss, Barber with the board. Houston is trapped, and we have a timeout called by Keystone with an even 90 seconds left. 37-31. Keystone leading Crestview. And here's another look at one of the more clutch baskets of the night here in overtime. And it's a 6-point lead at the moment as Kind of a quiet hush has come over here in Cortland. It's been a tremendous basketball game. Crestview tying it up at the buzzer to send this game to the extra session. And then Keystone went to work and built what is currently a 6-point advantage. 37-31. The foul situation is the following. 5 team fouls, as you can see, for Keystone, 2 for Crestview. So if you start fouling, and you need to start fouling if you're Crestview, you've got some work to do with just 2 currently.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I think you can play aggressive here. I think that if you could try to force a turnover by just playing aggressive, you pick up a foul, you got to get there anyway. But I think Crestview, they're going to come out and they're going to pressure as they're showing right here.
Brooklyn Barber to trigger it in. Keystone faithful on its feet. Here's Houston, and she got decked. And the foul will be tagged to Brianna DeCross, and she may have a Charlie horse of sorts.
And again,
She's in some pain across the way.
I don't know if DeCross was looking to foul there. I saw, Rhodes kind of giving her a little bit of direction, saying, hey, slide your feet and get in front of the ball handler. But again, that foul isn't. I mean, if they need to foul, it takes less time to get to 5 now that they have 3. But they want to play aggressive and try to trap, try to get a layup here to get this a little bit closer than 6.
So the ball is into Sokolowski. And now here's Houston back to Sokolowski. Sokolowski lobs it for Castle. Castle tracks it down. Castle, if the dribble. And there's a timeout called by Keystone with 1:18 left. Boy, that was kind of dangerous territory for the Lady Wildcats. And head coach Rocky Houston calling a timeout to maintain a very important possession here in overtime. Keystone leading Crestview 37-31 with 1:18 left. Take me inside. What is each coach telling his team right now based on where we are in the game?
Well, Coach Houston is probably telling his girls right now, keep it out of that spot where Castle just was, because they're going to trap you. And I'll tell you what, if you put it in that spot, it's going to be very difficult to get that out of there. And I think Coach Blatch is telling his team, we got to get some deflections. We got to get the ball going the other way. So let's be aggressive and let's trap. Let's do whatever we can to create some chaos on the defensive end.
37-31, Keystone basketball. Keystone with a 6-point lead with 1:18 remaining here in overtime. And the ball is in to Fordhofer. He now hands it back to Sokolowski. Here's Castle. Sokolowski with a dribble to the corner. Now Barber. It's knocked out of bounds, and it's off Crestview with 66 seconds remaining. 37-31. Keystone leading Crestview.
Very fortunate there that ball maybe didn't go the other way, but once again, that's a very dangerous spot there on the sideline that we can't see from where we're sitting.
Sokolowski bouncing it to the near side. Houston across the way to Castle. There's a foul called on Crestview. Looks like they got Brianna DeCross again. That's 4 team fouls now. That's 2 personal fouls on DeCross. 58.2 seconds remaining. Keystone still with possession of the ball. And it is into Sokolowski. He gets it across. And we have a whistle and a foul. And it is going to be free throws upcoming for Keystone. Stepping to the stripe will be Madison Sokolowski, a freshman. 7 big points off the bench for Keystone. She's averaging 9.5 per game. Puts the free throw in. 38-31 in favor of Keystone.
When you think about what she's done here in this game, I mean, obviously the points are real important, but boy, she's dropped some really, really perfectly thrown assists. One at the end of regulation to Fortover to force an overtime.
Free throw no good. It's a 7-point lead for Keystone. 38-31. Ball is loose. It is tracked down by the Rebels. DeCross out to Rhodes. Rhodes firing. 3 ball. It's an air ball. It's out of bounds. And it will go back to Keystone with 39.4 seconds left. It is 38 31 in favor of Keystone. Full court pressure and a quick foul, you'd imagine. If they cannot get a steal, Barber is fouled. And we'll go back down and shoot free throws as Brianna DeCross picks up her third personal.
Now it just becomes a little bit of a free throw shooting contest, well, a one-way contest, I guess, in this particular case, where if Keystone can knock down some free throws, they can seal this win.
Brooklyn Barber misses the first free throw. She'll try to make this an 8-point lead for Keystone. Keystone 38, Crestview 31. We're down to 34.9 seconds left. Brooklyn Barber. This is the second one as well. Gaskins with the board. Addison Rhodes up ahead of the pack to Downey. Downey feeds it underneath. Gaskins puts it up and in. 27 seconds left. It is a 5-point Keystone lead at 38-33. And so that should just about do it for timeouts now. For Coach Blatch and company, it looks like one remaining for Keystone.
Boy, great pass there by Emily Downey. Kind of threw the ball between some hands, and great catch by Gaskins on a finish. And I think that, sometimes everybody needs to think that they can shoot threes to get back in a basketball game. But listen, if you're going to take the sure two and you're going to extend the game by fouling, just force them to make free throws and just take your twos on the other end. So hopefully Coach Blatch is kind of telling his girls that we don't need threes to get back in this basketball game. If it's there, great, but let's see if we can attack the rim and see if we can get sure twos and then foul.
Keystone finished the season last year with a record of 20-4, eliminated by eventual state runner-up Chippewa in postseason play. Crestview seeking its first district title since 2007. Keystone 38, Crestview 33, 27 seconds left. Lady Wildcats with the ball. It's into Forthofer. Forthofer now to Barber and a quick foul, and we're down to 24.4 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and again, Keystone just missed Barber just missed two free throws the last opportunity. So, you're fouling the right person. Hope, maybe she can step up and make two, but gives you an advantage if she can't.
And she missed the first. And again, we'll try to split the pair. It remains 38-33 in favor of Keystone. Barber tonight has 8 big points. Free throw up and good. That's a big one. 39-33. 23 seconds as this clock winding down. Brianna DeCross cut off outside the three-point line. Penetrates into the paint. Into the corner. 3-ball Downey up off the top of the backboard. Off the miss. Rebound down to Forthofer. And it's a Crestview foul with 10.4 seconds left. We'll shoot some more free throws. And that is 5 fouls on Crestview's Brianna DeCross. 39-33. Keystone leading Crestview to the free throw line. Jessica Forthofer. She puts the free throw up, around, and it falls off. Forthofer had 4 big points. They were big ones, given where they came. Forthofer puts the second one up and in, and it's a 7-point ball game, 40-33. Up the floor comes Addison Rhodes into the corner. Baseline take by Miller. They feed it for Gaskins. Gaskins fights it up, and the clock will expire. And the Keystone Lady Wildcats win the Division III District Championship. What a ball game it was in a battle of 2 undefeated 25-0 teams. And congratulations to head coach Rocky Houston and the Lady Wildcats, who claimed the district title. What a ball game. We'll begin our post-game coverage after this on the WKBN High School Basketball Game of the Week. And welcome back to Cortland Lakeview High School as the awards presentation is taking place here. And Crestview is being presented with its district runner-up awards and medals for each player. Certainly a lot of disappointment, but a heck of a season and a heck of a run for Crestview, who will end the season with a record of 25-1. Shortly, we will see the trophy presentation, but in the meantime, we can select our Player of the Game. Our Player of the Game award is sponsored by our friends at Tavern 26 and Nightline Embroidery and Screen Print. So many big-time heroes in this game today, but we're going to give it to Keystone's Vivian Castle. She had 15 points in the ball game, and Castle with a really big performance in one of the biggest games of the season in the Division III District Final. Congratulations to Vivian Castle for being named our Player of the Game. So as these medals are being presented, we'll stick around here and see the district runner-up trophy presented. Disappointment, but again, this is a very young Crestview team, Todd, and boy, the future is very bright when you have players like you see right there, LaVraine Gaskins and Addison Rhodes. They're going to be back here again, I have a sneaking suspicion, next year.
No doubt about it. I mean, they ran into, both teams very good. I mean, they ran into a very good Keystone team. You know, you look at this game and you think about all the plays, and I know this is the end of regulation right here, but you know, this game could have gone either way. You know, both teams did a real nice job, and like you said, Chad, you know, Crestview very young. They can very well be back here next year.
And as you can see, Addison Rhodes, LaVraine Gaskins being presented with their medals. No smiles. And as those young ladies are presented with their medals and the district runner-up, we'll take a timeout. And we'll continue when we come back on the WKBN High School Basketball Game of the Week. Well, the awards presentation continues here in Cortland as Keystone outlasts Crestview 40-33 in overtime in the Division III District Final. Chad Krispinski, Todd McElroy with you as Keystone is presented with its medals. A heck of a performance, a gritty performance. Two really good teams. One was going to leave here disappointed, but Keystone certainly deserves it. They played a terrific ball game here tonight.
They sure did. And you think back through the game, and so many players really contributed in their own right of what their role is for their team. I mean, you look at, Sokolowski comes out off the bench and really does a good job just dropping assists down to players. Fortover did a good job on the interior. Castle is scoring and just doing her thing. So a lot of contribution, and certainly is a testament to this team and what Coach Houston does to really preach. If everyone does a little, nobody has to do a lot.
Congratulations to the Keystone Lady Wildcats for claiming the Division III District Championship, 40-33 over Crestview in overtime. We'll check out the final numbers when we come back. And we'll wrap it up from Cortland on the WKBN High School Basketball Game of the Week. Well, the District Championship trophy has been presented to the Lady Wildcats from Keystone High School, and congratulations to them and best of luck in the regional semifinals that will come your way next week. As we wrap things up here, your final thoughts as we look at the final box score, Todd?
Well, I think this game could have been a little bit different. I think Crestview, they struggled a little bit from the field, shooting it from the arc. But Keystone did a really nice job of kind of taking advantage of those rebounds and going down and converting, or just killing some clock late in the game and just really knowing the situation. So certainly hats off and congratulations to the Keystone Lady Wildcats.
Keystone will continue at 26-0. Crestview's terrific run this season comes to an end with a record of 25-1. So that's the story from here in Cortland. We hope you enjoyed this presentation, tournament style of the WKBN High School Basketball Game of the Week. For my broadcast partner, Todd McElroy, and all of us here at WKBN, my name is Chad Krispinski, telling you once again the final score in the Division III District Championship. Keystone 40, Crestview 33 in overtime. Till next time, so long, everybody.